It's 9:14. Let's go to the K-Wave News Zoom room where we have standing by from the Department of Corrections, Major Antone Aguon, who's back on the job. Good morning, Major.
Good morning. Good morning, Chris.
Uh, let's
Myrna.
let's just
Good
get right
morning.
into it. We're so glad to see you again, Major. I know we talked about this last night, but Major Aguon, the last time he was on the link, I want to say that my diagnosis was correct. I remember you came on and you looked really sick, and I was like, man, I feel like he has COVID. And it turned out that you did test positive for the virus, right?
Yes, I did. I tested positive on November 5th.
Major, just go ahead and if you could walk us through what that experience was like, if you had passed the virus to anyone else, and just how did you do with the coronavirus?
Well, fortunately for me, my symptoms were not that severe. Just headaches, cough, feeling tired all the time. Um, uh, that was basically the worst of my symptoms. So I was very fortunate that it didn't get as bad. My wife also caught it, and then she had a fever. My son also caught COVID, and then they got fevers like 3 different days. They were getting fevers. Um, but fortunately again for all three of us, at the end of the day, we didn't get any more severe than that. And so
Yeah.
we're all recovered now. Fortunately, two my three daughters also did not get it. Although we live in the same household, we were able to keep ourselves separated and take all those proactive measures to make sure that my daughters didn't get it. And so my family is, we're very fortunate this Thanksgiving at least that it could have been a lot worse. And so
Right.
I'm just happy to be back to work and uh, you know make it through this without really any major
Mm-hmm.
issues.
You,
I
you,
mean, we did lose an officer last week because of this, and of course, Guam has lost over 100 some people already. So, we're very grateful and very lucky that it didn't get worse.
mhm. You said your daughters didn't get it. How did you isolate from them, or did they go spend time with like a family member?
No, I mean, we were thinking of putting them at actually, the hotel requirement was, because we checked into that, was me and my wife would have to be quarantined and my son at the hotel, right? If we decided to take that option, but, I didn't want to leave my daughters at the house by themselves, and so anyway, I have a 5 bedroom house, so each of my kids have their own bedroom. So, and several bathrooms. So we made sure that, the bathrooms that we use and the showers were separate. And my kids were in their bedroom. Me and the wife stayed in our bedroom. My son stayed in his, and just wore masks and basically sanitized everything. We have this sprayer that we were spraying around the house every time we went somewhere. We're spraying,
Which one?
spraying
The
everything in the house.
the one, the blue light?
The gun thing?
Yeah, the gun. We have
Yeah.
that like an alcohol spray gun, and so we were spraying everything, and we touched and sprayed, um, and it worked. I guess. I mean, my daughters were spared that, and um, they did a good job of taking care of us. Providing us with our drinks. They put it on the table, knock on the door, and we open the door and get the stuff, and they're already a safe distance away. So.
Wow.
Uh,
Ma-
Again, we're just very fortunate that, I'm very fortunate my daughters didn't get it, and it
mm.
could have been a lot worse.
Major, do you have pre-existing comorbidities?
No, no, I'm not diabetic, and I don't have high blood pressure, and I don't have all those other issues. So I was very fortunate again. Some
Was
say, 'cause I was doing research, uh, I guess, I have a type O blood. So, I was doing research there, says they're less likely to get severe symptoms. I don't know if
mm,
that was a factor or not, but again, I wasn't my wife had it worse than me and my son, but you know, it still didn't mean every night you go to sleep and you wonder if tomorrow it's going to be worse. You just don't know, right? You didn't know.
right.
I didn't know what this virus would do down the road, so I was worried. Me and my wife was really worried, and you know, thank God it didn't get as bad as we thought it could get.
What are the officers and the staff over there at the prison? How are they feeling? What are they saying about Glen Martinez passing. I've seen
Well,
your
again, that's a lot of officers we work with Glen. Glen has been with us for over 20 years. So almost every officer in here has worked with him at some point and worked with him every day. And it was just very sad to hear that he passed away. I mean, we heard that he went to the hospital and we were praying for him, and then he wasn't even up there 3 to 4 days, I think it was, and then he passed away. So, we're very sad. We've had other officers up there in the hospital, and some of them already got out and they're back at their residence. We still have 2 more staff currently in the hospital, officers. We pray for them and hope that they get well soon. But this virus is no joke. I mean, you just don't know what to expect from it. You just don't know.
Some
We're
people
just gonna have to find a way to move on. And
some people I've spoken
what?
with, some people I've spoken with that have came down with COVID, they've said that it's really changed them. They plan on changing their lifestyle, changing the way their outlook on life. How has it changed you, and I guess your family?
I mean, again, when the public health called me November 5th and told me I was positive, and then I told my wife, she started crying. My kids were very worried again because of what's happened out there. You just have to appreciate life a little bit more. And this Thanksgiving came by, and we were very thankful that we were able to enjoy it. And I mean, again, it just could have been a lot worse. I mean, me and my wife both sick, and my oldest son. I mean, God forbid something happened to us. We're just worried, what would my daughters do? Who would take care of my daughters? And it was getting emotional, at least for the wife. But we made it. And,
Can I ask, Antone?
my prayers go out to Glen's family because, yes.
And how long did you work with Glen?
Well, I've been here since '94. So when I came in, Glen came in when I was already here. So we worked, again, over 20 years together in different capacities. And when I was a platoon commander and he was under me, he was currently assigned to our vocational rehabilitation services, VRS, our maintenance section. So I spoke to him almost daily, sometimes on some of the things that were going on in the compound. And, it was just sad to hear that he went that fast.
right. So Major, knowing Glenn held down that spot for so many years, I'm pretty sure he had his routine of coming to work, saying good morning. Do you guys feel an emptiness? Because I went to school with Glenn, and whenever I saw him, he'd always had conversation. So, what's it like with that void over there at the McGinley prison?
Hi there, guys. Oh. Hello? I'm sorry, Chris, I didn't hear you.
Yeah.
You broke up.
What's it like, working with Glenn for so many years, and every time I've seen him, went to school with him, he just always had a conversation with people. So I can imagine when he came into work, he probably did his good mornings. Just not having that anymore. What's that been like for you guys there at the McGinley prison?
Again, Glenn was, that there was nothing he wouldn't do. Any assignment given, Glenn would gladly do it. He never shied away from doing any kind of job or work. If we had something that we needed done, if I needed something done and for him to look into it, all he says, okay, boss, I'll get it. I'll look at it. And you could always count on him, and no complaints. He never complained. He came to work always positive, in a good mood, and he was fun to be around, and that's going to be greatly missed by a lot of the officers.
Can you give us, I guess, an update on the numbers over there at the Department of Corrections. Has there been any additional tests or retests?
No, so as of now, we currently have 79, 79 active inmates that are positive for COVID. Originally, we were up at about 165. And so the remaining of them have been cleared already. So now we're at 79. Our current population department-wide is 576. We don't have any positives in Agana. They're all up in the Manila compound. And as far as the officers go, I have 31 officers that are currently out. 23 are positive, and I believe the other nine of them, I believe, are on quarantine due to contact tracing. So they're getting back to work. I mean, little by little, the officers are coming back to work. We continue to try to just move forward. We are working with the directors, working with DPW on setting up, just in the event that we have to plan for the worst in case this thing spikes out of control or gets a little worse. So we are working on a dome. Got some aircon issues up there, working on as an alternative unit in the event we need it. Right now, the inmates that were positive, they're at post 7. Some are at post 16. They were just sheltered in place, and also post 5. So we're working with the Guam Public Health on best practices, what would work for us. And so as of now, again, we were able to get those numbers down. And so I think we're headed in the positive direction. And we just have to stay vigilant and continue to try to, ensure this thing doesn't get out of control and more people get infected.
So what are you guys doing to ensure, we're not going to see another sort of outbreak like we are seeing and had seen?
So the director is working with public health to eventually get us a testing machine that we will be able to test. There's some logistical requirements, and I'm not sure of all the exact requirements, but there are some requirements that need to be met. The director is the one on top of that. He's working on that with public health to eventually get us a testing machine so that we're able to test new confinees. We still separate them as best we can when they do come in, and they are checked by the nurse. And again, if there's anybody with symptoms and they are immediately quarantined, they're moved from their housing unit in quarantine. I think the last one we had was the halfway house, where they were tested negative. And then I guess a few days later, give or take, some of them developed symptoms. And so they were moved to our quarantine facility at post 7. Public health immediately came in and retested a bunch of them, and some tested positive. They're part of the few that have recently been cleared too, to go back to the housing unit. So again, we're adjusting. We adjust as events unfold and as situation dictates, working with public health and getting their guidance. We're adjusting our daily operations. We're also looking at, again, the director has given instructions for the warden to start looking at an operation plan, maybe in a few weeks, to allow limited incoming. And again, that will help with some of the stress that's going on in the units right now, because everybody's kind of stressed out and frustrated. It's especially with now that there's positive and there's people sick now, and we have a few. I think we have like 2 or 3 that may be in the hospital right now. One I think came back yesterday. He was cleared to come back to the facility yesterday, and so it's a pretty stressful time. But again, management, the warden and the director and rest of management is working on finding ways to try to alleviate some of that.
As you guys wait for approval from public health on the COVID test machines, have you guys received any word if you'll be receiving those Binax Now test cards?
No, not that I'm aware of. At this time, not that I'm aware of. I would need to speak to the director, and see if he has any new area on that one. But as of now, with my last speaking to him last week, and we're not, we're not aware. I'm not aware of that right now.
Okay. Did you have any? I just had one more question. I just wanted to ask, like, what did you take? What kind of medications did you take when you had COVID?
Oh, so my I was I was loading up on vitamin C. I took the airborne cough drops, vitamin C, the one of the packet that you put in hot water and on things. I was drinking a lot of that, and maybe that helped. Me and the wife both were taking those things, and there was not much else you could do. Tylenol for the fever. I did once or twice take some cough medicine when my cough was getting a little bit too much. But again, after maybe 3-5 days, I guess, it started to get a little bit better.
Mm-hmm.
And then by the 10th day, I was pretty much feeling okay, except just a little tired.
Mm-hmm.
And just waiting for public health to clear me. And after I think 14-15 days, I think I got cleared from public health.
Did you lose like your sense of taste and smell and experience?
No, my wife did. She couldn't taste food. I did not. But you kind of, at least for me, I didn't have an appetite. I could barely eat really anything. Just maybe had one meal a day, and you just didn't feel like eating.
Yeah.
For some reason, you didn't feel like eating at all. So
I could tell, Major, you look like you lost some weight.
yeah, I lost some. Not as much as I need to, but I lost some. So work on that. But yeah, it did. I mean, that was, at least I could say that's one positive. I lost some weight on that. But you still get tired even after we're cleared. Once in a while, we still get kind of winded every now and then. But we're getting through it. It's getting better. Every day is getting better. And I still wear masks at the house. Me and the wife and the kids are still wearing our masks.
Right.
Even though we've been cleared, we still wear our masks because they told us that you could still have the virus for 3 months and not be contagious with it. But the antibodies will still be in your body, so you can still have it for 3 more months. Because I asked them about taking another test, but it's not necessary because it would probably still show a little positive.
Right.
Although I'm not symptomatic and it's not contagious. So again, I'm just following what public health guidance is giving us. I mean, they even came to my house and checked on me to make sure I wasn't going anywhere. I had to stick my head out the window at the door and say, hi, I'm here, because they're just verifying on us. So they did a good job. They called me sometimes more than I wanted to, just checking on the family and stuff. So again, we're just very thankful. It could have been a lot worse. And my prayers go out to all the family members who lost a loved one due to this, because it is traumatic. You just don't know. And I don't know where I got it. Honestly, I don't know how I got it or because I wear my mask. I don't go anywhere. I go to work. I go there. Nobody else here at the director's office caught it from me, and nobody else here got positive. So I really don't know where I caught the virus, or I just don't know. I was very cautious, so it just shows you can be very cautious. And somewhere along the line, I messed up. I made a boo-boo or did something, and it ended up getting on me. So I just don't know. That's why you just got to be very cautious. You just never know.
Well, we're glad you're okay, Major.
Yeah.
And thank you for checking up on me when I was out.
Yeah, our pleasure. Of course. You good? Yeah. Thank you, Major.
Okay, thank you guys. Have a good day.
You
Nice.
too.
Okay.
Take care.
Where are you at anyway?
I'm at the director's office. That's just my background. My background here at the office is not necessarily, there's a lot of paperwork.
Oh yeah, okay.
That's a background that I just got on the internet somewhere. I just found a background.
Nice. I thought you were down in the valley or something.
I kind of got tired of looking at the prison all the time, so
Oh, yeah. Wrong job
that's
then.
something else. Yeah.
All right, Major. Take it easy. God bless you and the family.
Okay, thank you.
Esta.
Okay.
Major Antone Aguon. 9:33. Quick break, and then well, let's just put it this way: if you didn't go to mass yesterday, we have how many priests we got? 2.